Len, thank you, and Chris, thank you. Now all I have to do is live up to those wonderful words. Thanks a lot. The first thing I want to say is the elephant in the room, and that's about the fire and the fire relief fund and everything that's happening. Peggy and I have been to, I can't even count how many meetings since the fire started, while it was still going and then after. And the one thing I can tell you is that Rotarians want to be together during a time of crisis. Special feelings that those of us who were fortunate enough to just had to play a supporting role, like you folks here, and I'm from Sebastopol. We were spared from the fire, but we all housed Rotarians who were evacuated and or actually did lose their homes. And Rotarians stepping up to the plate. It's awesome. I just got an email this morning from Mike Hogan, who's a surveyor. He has his own land survey business. And he, last week at Santa Rosa East, was a panel to answer questions for folks, along with Kim and David McDonald, who are insurance agents. And they say, we don't care whether you're our customer or not. If you have a question, come ask us, please. And they have been a huge resource for folks. So this morning, Mike Hogan sends out a message, and he says, it's important that those of you who lost your home get on the books right now. We need to have you in the front, so you're in the first wave and not in the second wave where there's going to be thousands of people applying for building permits. And he is offered to as many Rotarians that will come to him. He's going to do a pro bono. That is a Rotary family. And that's why I'm so proud to be a Rotarian, just because of actions like this. And we did start the LARCA Fund. I say LARCA, Lake Area Rotary Club Association. They were so hit in the last 2 years, and we helped them out in a great way. Now they want to pay back. So one day into this fire, they passed a new bylaw that allowed them to expand not only the fund from Lake County, but also Napa, Sonoma, and Mendocino. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I don't know how you want to call it, we have them as a great resource, but they've been there, done that. And it's allowing us to get going faster than would be possible. As Chris mentioned, there's going to be 12 voting members, 4 from Sonoma County, 4 from Napa County, 2 from Mendocino, and 2 for Lake. And Chris is one of the voting members. I couldn't think of a better representative for Sonoma. And there also will be non-voting members like myself, Jennifer Strong, and some of the folks from the Lake Area Clubs have already been through this. And also we have legal representation. So it's going to be the 4-week test, is how we're going to utilize this. We're going to look for those who fall through the cracks. For instance, not a Rotarian, but a person who is known by a Rotarian who have lost the use of the business. It's a big hotel, inn, and they have to replace the roof. They have to replace all the furniture, all the beds for the smoke tent. There's going to be erosion along the banks, so they have to take care of that. And FEMA says they have insurance, but they have a large deductible. And FEMA says, I'm sorry, you're insured, can't help you. This is the kind of folks we want to help, so they can get back into business. Small businesses are the lifeblood of the community, and we want to help. So, I bet you thought I was going to talk about polio, didn't you? What would give you that idea? So, in the beginning of the year, I know all the preparation that President Chris has done is just phenomenal. And all your past presidents that are in here, Lee and all the others, know how full your plate is in the beginning of the year. So here comes the district governor. And he says, hey, you guys, we're going to have a bike ride from one end of the district to the other. And we're going to be up in your way. Hey, can you feed us? You know, we'll bring the beer and wine. Could you do a pop-up for us? Oh, yeah. Could you put us up for the night, too? That would really be appreciated. Oh, yeah, that other thing. You know those little green arrows they put on the road? Could you do that for us? Really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I know it's during the week, but do you mind if you could set up a rest stop for us in the middle of the day? Because we're going to be hungry halfway. And you know what? They did it. And they did it with big smiles on their faces. And I can't tell you, Chris can tell you. Maybe you can't put it into words either. And Michael and Grace. The bonding, yeah, all the riders and the SAG drivers, my wife included, we all bonded very strongly together. But bonding with the clubs and the clubs bonding with each other, it's something I'll cherish forever. So the goal was, you remember March 9th? 10 cents? So we said, okay, we're doing 350 miles. This is Bill Sauber's idea, one of the riders. He's in Sebastian Sunrise Club. So we're doing 350 miles, 10 cents a mile. That's only $35. Every Rotarian can afford $35. If you multiply that times the number of Rotarians in the district, roughly 2,400, that's $84,000. And that's how we set that goal. And with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation 2-for-1 match, there would be $252,000, $250,000. That's making a difference. Maybe some of you, 52% of you opened your email to see the newsletter. 48% of you didn't. So about half of you know what the goal, whether we met the goal or not. You can see these things, you know, on documents, sort of cool. But you think we made our goal? Yes. Yeah, I mean halfway, well, no, the third day of the ride, I remember thinking, well, we're over 50,000. And you know, I can live with that. If that's all we do, we're having a good time, and 50,000 is a lot of money. And with the Bill and Melinda Gates, 150. So I was totally blown away when I added up the numbers. Because not only did we make our goal, but we went into 6 figures. And we didn't just stop at 101,000. $138,474.49. Give yourself a round. And this club and the 4 other clubs that put on the Lucchese celebration had a large part to do with that, because I think you raised $30,000 on that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You're awesome. Can we show the video? Michael Bisler, God bless his soul, and Grace put on a great video.
1, 2, 3, left.
I'll let it speak for itself.
1, 2, 3, left. 2, 3, 4. Pedal. 4. Holy. Oh. Pedal. 4. Yoga. Holy.
I want a real photo. I want a meeting. I want a real photo.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay. So far, so good.
Big thing.
The most important thing is the photo.
That's right, with a smile. Go get him, Kev.
There's a disease called polio, and it would cripple people. And so they figured out they have a vaccine for it. So you know how when you get a shot, and it prevents you from getting polio. Then we're going to say, and will you support us with a pledge to put money towards polio for vaccinating kids?
So all their friends helped them raise money, and now they're doing the ride.
And now we,
Sounds like a
have,
pretty
we have to
long
do our
life ride.
part.
yeah, we have to do our part.
And we stood there and got the shots. And it
Wow.
wasn't until probably 5 or 10 years later that my dad told us, as a family, all
Right.
5 kids, that my mom and he were scared to death every summer when the reports of polio would start coming in.
Yeah, because it was communicable, and you never knew when and if.
Highly communicable, and it just, you know, you'd hear about it, and somebody's child just got polio,
Yeah.
and they were just scared to death that one of the 5 kids was going to get polio. And
It's amazing how that was a silver bullet. I mean, now we take it for granted, but back then it was the silver bullet.
so many people today don't even know, they hardly even heard of polio.
Right.
But back
Thank
when-
God they haven't,
Yeah,
really, when you
yeah,
think about it.
yeah. And it's been gone from this country for 30
Yeah.
years.
Now, so how many group guys in the group that are making this trek from Crescent City down to Petaluma?
Can I correct you and say guys and gals? There's 13 of us.
Guys and gals.
Absolutely. There's 13 dedicated riders, and we're raising money for our fight against polio. You know, in 1985, when Rotary International and all of the clubs in the world that are Rotary took on this fight, there were 1,000 children a day contracting polio. Yes, the United States is polio-free, but not the rest of the world. Guess where we are today? 8 cases year to date in the whole world. So we're almost there. We're going to win this fight, right, guys? Yeah! We're going to end up in Redcrest today. The beginning of the Avenue of the Giants. And I think it's what, about 60 miles, you guys? Yeah, a little over 60 miles. Piece of cake.
All downhill.
All down. It's all downhill all the way to the top.
No such thing as
How was that right at the Crescent City Hill? How was that one?
I'm glad. Let me put it this way. I'm glad it's behind us. Let me tell you about one other thing. This is the best investment in the world because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're matching for every dollar that Rotary raises, they match it with $2. So we're gonna make a quick stop at College of the Redwoods for a little put on a feed bag just for a few minutes before our final 3 hours to Redcrest.
Infrastructure that we're creating to end polio is being used in so many places in order to attack all childhood diseases and adult diseases as well. Nigeria, which had an incredible polio eradication program, became polio-free. Used the polio infrastructure to lessen the impact and pretty much stop it in its tracks of the Ebola epidemic. But the first goal is no more cases of polio.
Trying to do our share with the Pedal for Polio. I don't have an official number yet. Our goal was 84,000, but I know we've passed the 50,000 mark already.
All right.
And stop and think about this. Since Rotary started this in 1985, 16 million children did not contract polio.
Wow.
Because of you guys. Because of you guys. Because of Rotarians. For everything that you guys have done for us, to show my appreciation, I'm going to offer these t-shirts for only $10. Pedal for Polio. And the whole purpose is,
You take it off.
you know, you pulled that trick on me the other night. 3 larges?
What size is yours, Bob?
Mine's a large.
I'll give you $20 for the shirt off your back right now.
Okay.
Okay. Woo! I'm sucking it in. Thank you for everything you guys have done. Everything. From the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all the work that you guys put into this.
The hole was on the bottom facing the rim.
Okay.
Another one, he had a patch tube. We put it in, the patch leaked. And then he put a third new tire on, got a staple in the middle of it. That's it.
But I want the opinions, and going through there a couple times, it looks like we could ride all the way. Otherwise, we're going to have a short day. We would have to wait possibly with the traffic, but the roads are clean. I just want some opinions or
What's the pros and cons?
How many rocks?
I think he actually might.
Benbow,
Yeah.
just to stick together.
I just,
So
So we all go together.
why don't we just stop at Confusion Hill?
Yeah,
It
let's
just
do that.
It eliminates.
Let's
me
let's
having
just
the
go to
whole
Confusion
back-
Hill.
Confusion Hill, I'm
might
sorry.
get confused when they get there.
I say let's delay till we get to Benbow.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
My only concern is if we get separated without a support vehicle, somebody's going to get screwed back there. So that's my own. You just brought up.
Unless we
Safety first. What do you have to say about this? Okay, good.
Figure out this Confusion Hill thing. But in the meantime, the entire ride for today is pretty moderate. I think we're going to have a total climbing of a little over 3,000 feet. We have half a dozen little hills that are 300, 400 feet each at the max.
Take this 26 through the Giants, go slow, warm up nicely, and enjoy this.
Totally.
This is a total gift. This is. It's exactly what it is.
That's my attitude.
Yep. Let's ride!
So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero. With fearless thoughts, emotions swirled, I wanna be the man that saves the world. Yeah.
These guys are cooking. Well, no wonder it took us so long to catch up with them. Well, at least on the downhill stretches, yeah. This is something where our riders, they want to capitalize. You know, you're going up a lot of hills. We got an early start this morning. They did before it got warm. And so, yeah, this is one way to conserve all that energy and also your body fluids.
I'm not good at nuance.
I know, you're good at giving orders, not following orders.
This makes for good video.
It does. You're a very good patient.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of unusual for a governor.
dang.
We'll just have to ride faster.
Okay.
Okay, the Eagles are allowed to fly today. Just go. Fly.
We have altered your entrance into Cloverdale as follows. Instead of turning left on Cloverdale Boulevard to get to the Citrus Fair, I didn't even know we were going to the Citrus Fair. I thought we were going to Druids Hall.
There he comes. Will Patrick let him have the lead? Ladies and gentlemen, they're nearing the corners. Okay, here they come.
Far more worried about Pence. Pence will get things done.
You're going to be able to get your foot out?
That is not, if you don't get it out, you're going to be with a broken leg.
Worst thing can happen.
Here they come! Bob, Bill, Richard, Monica, hey, Matt, hey, welcome. Good going. Ah-ha-ha.
Easy peasy. Hey, Doc. Good John. Brian, Chris. Hey. Woo! Get it.
So we had a lot of fun, and we raised money having fun. So it's a special experience. I'll cherish always. But I'm not just here to talk about polio.
Don't worry, I'm only taking one player off.
You know, this year's theme is Rotary, where dreams take flight. The theme of the district conference. Every achievement, every innovation, every step forward in this world begins with an idea, a thought, perception, and intuition. We look around and see the world around us, and whether we perceive it or not is a matter of focus and attention. We take for granted what we think we see as that's the way it is. But what if we could set aside that notion? Then we might become open to other possibilities. Like the Rotarian in the Philippines in 1979, who took a look around and stopped taking what he saw for granted. Polio was the leveler of children, the destroyer of adult lives, the ruin of so many possibilities, so many futures. Potential and hope were no longer in a complex equation of life. Doors were forever closed, windows forever blackened by the dispassionate, undeserved, unbidden gatekeeper between promise and tragedy. He stopped taking this for granted. He saw another way for a better life for those not blessed as he was through the accidental freedom from this plague. We had the vaccine, and we had the delivery system that was Rotary. Necessity of action gave birth to an idea that we could actually wipe the scourge off the face of the earth. This idea became a belief. The belief became a dream. First his country, and then the world. And his idea, and his thought, and his belief, and his dream fueled this one Rotarian, and later all Rotarians. To dare to think the impossible, to dare to think the unthinkable, to dare to think that we could reshape the world and have the courage to do so. And here we stand today on the brink of a world without polio. Because we saw, we thought, we believed, we dreamed, we dared. So where else have we seen such a process? Walt Disney in his younger years experienced the trash-ridden, cheap and tacky amusement park rides and distractions that were the amusement parks of his youth. He thought he could do better. He thought he could fashion a place of suspended disbelief, exciting, colorful, bright, a family destination with such exciting places to explore like Tomorrowland and Fantasyland and Frontierland. And he dared to make it so. You know, there's a story about a couple workmen putting the finishing touches on Disney World, and one turns to the other and says, you know, isn't it a shame that Walt didn't get a chance to see this great accomplishment of his before he passed? The other guy turns to him and says, what are you talking about? He did see it, that's why it's here. Disney's motto, think, believe, dream, dare. The rest is history, the rest is the future. A future filled with ideas, with beliefs, with dreams, and the courage to act on it. What was the name of Steve Jobs' next company after he left? Next, right. And when Frank Lloyd Wright was asked what's his favorite project, he replied, the next one. There's another story that you may have heard about the fellow standing on the beach. The beach is covered with starfish that are stranded there by the tidal action. And he's picking them up one at a time and he's throwing them back into the sea. And he's approached by a stranger, and the stranger says, what are you doing? How do you think you can make a difference in such a massive need? He looks at the guy and then bends over, picks up another one. He says, you know what makes a difference to this guy? So that's sort of a meaningful story. Get you right here. But let me put it to you another way. What if that fella had gone back into town and told his friends to apply to the starfish? Now who knows, maybe his friends were Rotarians. And he convinced them of the need. And with a shared vision, they all returned to the beach and return the starfish to the sea. Now I have to ask you, who benefited the most from this? The starfish? The people who came together to save them? Or both? Yeah, you're right. Because when we, obviously the starfish, but when we come together and share a vision and act on it, in a way we are saving ourselves. We make our living through our work. We make our lives through our actions. Or some say we make our lives through Rotary. Service above self is more than just a motto, isn't it? It's a way of life. It's a spiritual and emotional way of life, if you will. And what is the purpose of all of our projects that we do through Rotary, if not a unity of these qualities? I was so impressed with what I heard this morning at the board meeting, and what you guys have done and what you're doing, your teacher grant program that's been going on for some time now, and all the other things. And it really touches me. But I'm not here to tell you what to do, because you know your community best. But like Steve Jobs said, what's next? You know your community. No one but you sees the needs. No one but you sees the starfish. Nobody but you can come together and save them. You know, we all joined Rotary for different reasons. I heard a lot of them this morning in the board meeting, but I believe that we're all still here for one reason, because you believe in service above self. I know that you feel the same as I do when you see how your projects affect those it touches. It literally brings tears to my eyes. And you guys fill my spiritual cup, and for that I thank you. So, go out and make a living. Go out and make a life. Go out and make a difference. At my first district assembly, I'm walking down a pathway when out of the blue, a voice behind me says, "How old are you when you had polio?" "What?" I say, swinging around. "How do you know I had polio?" He says, "I can tell by the way you're walking and swinging your leg." What's he talking about? I didn't know I walked any way but normal. But I can't deny his observation. He's right. I had polio as a child. He introduces himself as Larry Myers, our district's polio chair and fellow polio survivor. We talk for a couple minutes, then part ways, going to different classes. I see him at the end of the day, and he asked me to join his committee, and I accept. A few months later, he asked me to fill in for him on a polio talk he's giving for a fundraiser. I say yes, start doing research as prep for the talk, and soon realize the scope of her fight against this disease. But the real revelation for me is how Rotary got involved with this effort in the first place. It all starts with one person's dream. In 1979, when Rotarians worldwide are asked to come up with a vision, a dream for a project, Philippine Rotarian Dr. Benny Santos replies, "If you supply us with a polio vaccine, I will mobilize my fellow Rotarians and we will inoculate our 6 million children and eradicate polio from our country." And amazingly, wondrously, that is exactly what they do. It all starts with one person's dream. In 2013, District Governor Helene Campbell asked district presidents to do a water project. In South Ukiah, Rotarian Salvador Rico decides to dream big. He decides to clean up the Ameca River near Puerto Vallarta. He and fellow Rotarians in Mexico even convinced the local Mexican governments to donate large sums of money toward the cleanup. And he's well on his way to getting a global grant approved for his project. It all starts with one person's dream. But it's not just the big dreams. Small dreams can grow into something significant for your community as well.
Like Sebastopol Rotarian Mark Sell, hardware store owner who sees teachers coming into his store, buying items for their classrooms out of their own pockets. He wants to help, so in 2003, during his year as club president, he creates the Teacher Mini Grant program, where teachers apply for small grants to purchase necessities for their classrooms not being funded by the schools. To fund the mini grants, the club starts an annual crab feed, and this year surpasses $250,000 raised for teacher mini grants. It all starts with one person's dream. Or another not so big idea. Some years back, Rotarian Walt Tischer has the idea of installing a self-delivering dog water spigot in the local park in town. And the idea spawns another idea. And today, that dog water spigot has grown into what is now a full-blown dedicated dog park, where dog owners take their pets to socialize, do their doggy business, and as a result, keep the rest of the park in pristine condition. A win-win for everyone. It all starts with one person's dream. And it's not just dreams about projects. How about the Napa Club's dream to grow Rotary and begin the Santa Rosa Club back in 1921? Who then begins the Sebastopol Club? Who then begins the Russian River Club? Who then begins the Healdsburg Club? Do you see a pattern here? And just imagine the programs and projects that grew out of each of those clubs over the years. All because Napa Rotary had the idea to start another club. And so, as we move into the new Rotary year, I urge each of you, dream, big or small, modest or audacious, out of the blue. Your idea can take flight and soar to heights beyond your wildest dreams. One person's idea can make a huge difference. What's yours?
So get out your smartphones and mark down May 18th through the 20th. A little bit northeast of Sacramento, the district conference is going to be at McClellan Air Force Base. McClellan Air Force Base, what are you talking about? Relax, it's a retired Air Force Base. They turned it into a commercial operation. The BOQ, Bachelor Officers Quarters, is now the hotel. The O Club, the Officers Club, is converted to a hotel, bar, and restaurant. They took a hangar and they converted it into a conference center. It's awesome. We're going to have a cocktail reception at the Aerospace Museum. About 50 aircraft on display, everything from a Blue Angels A4 up to a 727, which has a special place in my heart because that's the first ever jet transporter I flew. How many pilots do we have in the room? I know we have one here. Any others? Okay, you guys, we have simulators that we're into. We have 6 simulators, and not only the pilots, but even non-pilots are going to have a chance to see if they can keep the shiny side up. And a special treat for pilots is this could be your one opportunity to legally drink and fly. So we're all going to do other things too there. We're going to do some good productive things and feel good. Have you guys heard of LM4 hands? It's a prosthesis, about $50 is all it takes. If we put those together, we're going to put 50 of them together. I'd like to do more, but we have a budget. They don't do much in the way of the prosthesis that we have here in the U.S., but in the developing world, it can change somebody's life dramatically. Somebody who lost a limb from terrorism or a landmine or from birth. Also, another project, Rise Against Hunger, is sort of like Shelter Box. They work with Rotary, and we're going to put together 10,000 meals at a cost of 27 cents a meal. We did that in Atlanta. They had that at the International Convention. They did about 400,000 meals. Peggy volunteered and had a good time doing that. And they're going to distribute this to where it's needed. And most of us think about Africa or Bangladesh, but they recently distributed meals to Texas. So it goes where it's needed. I know that the clock is running out. Okay, yeah, well, we're going to have a golf tournament. We're going to have a bocce ball tournament. There's been a challenge from up north. He says we're going to kick your ass. Oh, yeah? So we want to bring some fun into this, and also we're going to have trained facilitators to help your ideas. Bring your dreams, and we can work on them together. And we can collaborate with each other. We want you to come back with the hair standing on edge on your arms. We want you to be excited. My job, part of my job as district governor is to inspire. And I think that at the district conference, yes, we talked about all the great things we did and congratulate ourselves, but this is the next year. District Governor Barb Spangler will be the district governor, and after her, Kathy Flamson. And we want to keep growing Rotary until Bob is no longer here, until Barb's no longer here, but Rotary is just growing.
We're going to raffle a basket. Can you show, what are you going to raffle off?
Okay, this is from Petaluma Valley, and it's got a couple bottles of port.
Port, okay.
In there, and it's got
plum green, smoked paprika,
the thing I like most is a Sonoma Strong t-shirt.
Yeah, Sonoma Strong t-shirt. So what do we want to do? Okay, how about we start off with $100? $100. Are you hear more than how much? $150. $150. And where's this money going to go to?
Oh yeah, you know what? This is going to polio. That means it counts towards your Paul Harris.
Wonderful.
And it gets tripled by, it's ranked 2 for 1 by the Gates Foundation.
Great, so we're 150, and more 150? And more 200. Okay, 200. Anybody else above 200? 200? 222? Anybody else? 205. What's that? 205. All right. 205, man. How much? 210. 210. 210? 250. 250. This is the July's going back and forth.
Yeah, it's like the July.
Okay, 250 times 3 is what? That's $750. Whoa, okay, so $250 going once, $250 going twice, sold for $250. Yeah. And Bob, we have a present for you, a big gift basket, and Sherry put this together. Okay. Whoa. So this is Sonoma Pork Works, Polio, Pinot for Polio, McAvoy. Now this is going to go to you, and then you take it over to Sunrise tomorrow, correct?
It's not for me.
Well, it's for you. That's right. So, okay.
So we'll be offering this to Sunrise tomorrow morning.
Wonderful. Okay, one more raffle. Thank you very much. Sure, thank you very much. One more raffle here. Thank you. Can you pick the winning ticket? Okay, the last 3 numbers, and this is for $200 or wine. The last 3 numbers is 816. 816. Come on, Maggie. So brown rock is $200, and the blue rock is wine. Okay, so we have a Pinot for Polio or a McAvoy? McAvoy, okay, great, there you go. So Bob, you've got your gift. Peggy, I want to give you a gift too from McAvoy here. This is from our club to you. Thank you very much. You've got your cup. And Bob, I want to give you a bottle of wine, a Pinot for Polio. I know you love this wine, so this is from our club as well. In addition to that basket. Yeah.
I'm saving this until polio's gone.
Got it. So actually, Ed Fullerton came in a little bit later, and we've got a great district governor. Bob, we're very fortunate to have a past district governor, Ed Fullerton, here. So Ed, thank you very much for being here as well. So thank you very much for all of the guests that were here. Thank you for the guests that were here, the friends, guests, etc. For the who else? Guest Kelly over here. All of the work that she was helping do with the board meeting, etc. That was great. But I want to say a special thank you, Len, for being here today and helping out with the introduction. for Peggy for all of you've done, especially your domestic violence program. It's amazing. And I also want to give a huge thank you to your leadership, Bob, your passion, your dedication for everything that's good in the world. So again, a huge round of applause for District Governor Bob Wyatt. And with that said, you haven't been able to do this very often, so you get to ring the bell ending the meeting, okay? Meeting's adjourned.